Hi, Andrew. Thank you for participating in today's bedside swallow exam. I've noticed that when we were talking, you didn't have any secretions coming out of the front of your mouth. I've also noticed that you're alert and responsive. So with your permission, let's get started on this exam. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, Andrew. Let's start off by having you hold your breath for 6 seconds. That was 6 seconds, Andrew. Thank you for that. That gives me an idea of how you can hold the food or water inside your mouth. Can you breathe through your nose, Andrew?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful, that's good as well. Now let's move on. I'm going to evaluate your facial symmetry, Andrew. Let me go ahead and take a look at your face. You may notice that I'm wearing gloves, and this is for universal precautions to keep you safe and myself safe as well. Andrew, your facial symmetry is symmetric. That's good. Now I'm going to look for any bumps or any masses, scars, things like that on your face or on your neck. And none are present, Andrew. So let's move on to me taking a look into your oral cavity. I'm going to look at the structures in there. I'm going to use a pen light to shine some light in there. I'm also going to use a sterile tongue depressor that I took out of wrapping. Please say ah, Andrew. Now I notice you have braces. I also notice that you have an appliance on your palate, Andrew. But I can observe your palate. I can see your uvula. I see your lateral sulci on both sides. I see your tongue. I can see your teeth and your top teeth as well, Andrew. Thank you. Now, Andrew, I'd like to evaluate how your jaw moves. Please copy what I'm doing. I'm going to move my jaw up and down like this. Your turn. Great. Now I'm going to add a little bit of force at the bottom. And it looks like you've got a strong jaw, Andrew. That's great. Now, watch how I move my jaw from side to side. That's right, Andrew. You're moving your jaw from side to side. Thanks. Now move your jaw from forward to back. And I'm going to apply a little bit of force. Thank you, Andrew. And now, I'd like to see how your lips move, okay? So I'm going to use a tongue depressor for a part of this. But before we get to that, please pucker your lips like a fish. Now go ahead and turn that into a smile. That's great, Andrew. Now go ahead and seal your lips nice and tight. Wonderful. Now say ah. I'm going to put this tongue depressor in between your lips and tug on it. Got a nice firm seal. Now, Andrew, please put some air in the pockets of your cheeks and seal your lips. That's great. Now I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure to the sides of your cheeks, and you've got a great seal on there, Andrew. Now, I'd like to see how your tongue is functioning, Andrew. So I'm going to use my pen light again, and I'm going to use my sterile tongue depressor. Please stick your tongue out as far as you can and keep it nice and flat. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of force on there. Good. Now move your tongue far back into your throat like you're going to make the g-g-g sound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now move your tongue from side to side in the inside of your mouth. Say ah. Okay, side to side. That's good, Andrew. Now please move it to the top and to the bottom down here. Now let's see you move it to the top and bottom and left and right outside of your mouth like this. That's good. That's the top. There's the bottom. And there's the sides, Andrew. Thank you. Now let's see you lick your lips like this. And at the bottom as well. Good job, Andrew. Now I'd like to look at how your palate moves, okay? Please say ah, and I'm going to slowly walk this tongue depressor back. Now, can you say ah, 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 ah? Andrew, I see your palate moving just great back there. Thank you for that. Now, I'm going to try to elicit a gag reflex. I know that might feel uncomfortable, but I appreciate your patience, Andrew. So again, using my pen light and using my sterile tongue depressor, I'm going to walk this back until we can get that gag reflex. Ready? Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. I know that's uncomfortable. Now I'd like to evaluate you for sensitivity on your tongue and inside your mouth. I'm going to use this sterile cotton swab, okay? And I'm going to move it slowly on the sides of your tongue and on the sides of your cheeks. And I'd like you to let me know, maybe by raising your hand, what side you're feeling that on, okay? Say ah. All right. All right, Andrew, it looks like your tongue is and the inside of your mouth is sensitive, so that's great. Now, Andrew, we'll move on, and I'd like to evaluate the function of your larynx. So this is called the laryngeal exam. So I'd like to hear the quality of your voice. So can you go ahead and say, ah, for me, please? Great, Andrew. I didn't notice any wetness. I didn't notice any gurgling, so that's great. Now I'm going to also look at how your diadochokinetic rate is. So we're going to take a step back and include your ability to say some sounds right before we get back into the laryngeal exam. So I'd like you to say pa 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 pa.
Pa 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 pa.
Now hold that out for 10 seconds, Andrew. Pa 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 pa.
Pa 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 pa.
That's 10 seconds, Andrew. Now let's hear ta 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 for 10 seconds.
Ta 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 ta.
That was 10 seconds, Andrew. Now let's hear ka 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 for 10 seconds.
Ka 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 ka.
That was 10 seconds, Andrew. Thank you. So now we're going to move on to listening to that voice quality again. And we'll just go through and we'll start from the beginning. Thanks for your patience, Andrew. But before we jump back into that, I want to hear pataka or buttercup if you can't say that sound. So go ahead.
Pataka.
And keep repeating that for as long as you can.
Pataka, 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 pataka.
Okay, Andrew, that was about 10 seconds, so thank you for that. And now we'll move on to your voice quality. Go ahead and say, ah. The quality of your voice is not wet or gurgly, Andrew. It's nice and strong. It isn't weak. So now I'd like to hear you hold out as long as you can, Andrew. All right, Andrew, that was about 14 seconds. Thank you for that. Now, I'd like to hear you change the pitch of that ah sound we're doing. So make your voice sound like mine. Ah. Your turn. able to change the pitch in your voice. Could you give me a good cough, Andrew, like this? All right. Are you sick? Do you actually have a cold?
No.
That was a good one. Now let's hear you clear your throat, Andrew, like me. All right. We're almost done, Andrew, but before I let you go, I'd like to feel what swallowing is like on your throat. But before I give you food, I'd like to feel what it's like when you swallow your saliva. So I'm going to use 4 fingers. I'm going to place it from your jaw to the top of your thyroid, just to the bottom here, okay? Now, when I ask you to swallow, please do that. Swallow, Andrew. All right, now I noticed you swallowed as soon as I asked you to, and I felt your thyroid move up, and everything was nice and smooth, just like we'd hoped to see. Thank you for your participation, Andrew, and we'll move on to the food trials.